larger than life. He'll give you strife. He's Todd. He's tall, he's mean, he's labeling machine. He's Todd. Rides a motorbike, he'll tell you what it's like. He's Todd. Don't know what he'll say, he'll scare the kids away. He's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey, happy frickin' Thursday, huh? So, welcome back, everyone, to another fun-filled show full of BS. And it all depends on how you interpret BS. But for HR and legal sake, this is Brother Solutions. So, anyway, it's going to be a hot one today. I don't know where you are throughout the country, but supposed to reach 91 today. And so I'm really not looking forward to it. But it is what it is. I think this is one of the newer backdrops. So I'm in the process of redoing the studio here. And to hide all the crap, Kate made me a couple of backdrops. And so I got another one on the way next week. So hopefully I'll be able to showcase that on the next show. So anyway, again, thank you very much. Not really much going on here. Been hanging out and taking lots of drugs after my back surgery. This morning I am drug free, just, because I love you guys and don't want to say anything that could cost me my job. So anyway, I guess this is WWTD, right? What would Todd do? And so hopefully they're industry specific questions. Reluctantly, I invited a special guest on to ask me these questions. And whenever I do this, it always ends up going south. So I've got my fingers crossed, and we'll see how it goes. So again, hopefully they're industry specific questions regarding labeling, or I've been in this wretched industry for a long, long time, and I don't know everything, but I know a little about a lot of things. And so you may be able to stump the chump, which in this case would be me. But we'll see. So without further ado, again, quite reluctantly, I'm going to introduce Mr. Jamie Brookover. Jamie, you out there somewhere, Kate? There. I gave you the clap.
Inappropriate, and I could hear you with the reluctantly and those comments and everything. Just so you know, it's not what you said, it was actually your tone of voice. Okay?
Well, yeah, and I'm sorry, Kate, I didn't realize that Jamie could hear me.
So let's really think about people's feelings this day and age that we're going through right now. This is a tough time for everybody, okay?
I just took a class on that. I took a class, and you know what? It on the fourth attempt, I got a little certificate. It's around here somewhere.
Let me ask this question. Was this class voluntarily done, ordered by your parole officer, or was HR and legal make you take it?
Something to do with HR and legal. I don't know. But anyway, I passed the class, and so I learned a lot from it. And so I will digress and try and be a little nicer towards my my team members.
Yeah, most people passed it on the first time. It took you 4, kind of like your 9 years of high school you went through, correct?
Right.
So, let's get into this. Not everybody knows you had back surgery a week ago, I think is what it was.
A week and a half ago.
How's the back doing? And where are you with that?
So, Jamie, I'm back here in my office, by the way. So that answers the first place. Number 2 is that, it's hit and miss. Thank you very much. Again, it's one of those things. I was supposed to do a ADI show today up in Anaheim, but last night was a really, really bad night. And so my rep firm, West Cal, I know some of you are out there watching, Bob Costa and Mark are up there, and I appreciate you stepping in. So thanks for asking.
Good. And is your wife doing okay, having to take care of you, or is that poor woman having to deal with a lot of BS
You know the question of that already, Jamie. So,
Oh, that's a good
uh,
point. Yeah. So let's get into some good questions here. A lot of these are stated from customers, people like that. So I've run into a situation where we're doing a weekend cutover and we ran out of tape on the weekend. What do you suggest we do?
well, the first thing comes to mind is buy more tape from your
What's the plan
distributor.
better?
Yeah, to cover those. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And of course, me being the genius, that would be my number one answer. But number two answer is that tapes are ready available at our authorized distribution partners, usually 5 days a week. But if you run into a pinch, you can actually run to one of the office big box stores. Now you're probably going to pay twice as much for the tape, but the good thing about that, and I know for a fact, versus our competitors, right? Our competitors don't offer that through these big box stores. So the cool thing about that is, you can run in there and pick it up. And Kate mentioned something about Amazon or whatever, but be careful of Amazon. Really be careful of Amazon because there's a lot of knockoffs out there. So number one, stock up on lots of tape, right? Because Toddy needs a new pair of shoes. Number two is that if you do need it on after hours or over the weekend, visit a office superstore and they will have them for you.
Okay, that's good to know. So I was watching your last, just from a viewer. I was watching your last webcast about the new app, and you were having a few little technical difficulties. Where can I learn more about this app? And is there some training from the brother people, or what do we do?
Yeah, that last episode was horrific. Or no, maybe it was the episode before last. I was doing the road show and in Denver, and I wish our company could up the bandwidth. They're still on dial-up, but nonetheless, is what I'm in the process of doing, and this little back surgery crap got in the way, is that I'm going to do a full tutorial on the app. There's lots of good things on the app. There's a few things I really don't like about the app, and the thing that's beneficial about the app is that it opens the door for all of our connectivity partners to utilize this one single app. And it's, again, part of the app is really, really cool. But I will do a video out there. We'll put it up on YouTube and the bswithtodd.com and yada, yada. So stay tuned on that one.
This question, you'll probably know who it came from once I ask it. Do you actually get along with your brother, and who is really younger?
Gosh, I don't know. There may be a little BS involved here. So I get along very well with my brother. Jamie, you and my brother are my best friends. I really
I feel so special.
Yeah. So anyway, you know what? I live with my brother a lot. Only because when we are out in public, when they let us out in public, just about everyone comes up and they immediately recognize that we are brothers. They also recognize he's much uglier than I am. And then they ask me the question all the time, who's the older brother? And you can see steam pouring out of Sam's ears. So to answer your question, truthfully, I'm the younger brother. So anyway, next question.
Good, good. Does brother offer any sheet labeling right now?
No.
Is
And
do you know if it's in the works, or is it something we're talking about it? Is it something hopefully in the future?
So sheet labeling, I did a interview yesterday with CINM for Data Center Week, and I was talking about all the different kinds of labels and the way that I used to do it with a Sharpie and tape and the little tab books, and I went through the whole history of labeling, and then I got the sheet labeling, and I really, really dislike sheet labeling, but it's not going away. It's absolutely not going away. We could be looking into a sheet label solution just to, kind of, if you can't beat them, join them. But one of the things we've come up with recently is a cassette tape that actually fits inside of our printers, and it will spit out traditional self-lam tape. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually adjust the width of the printable area. Whereas if you buy an 8.5 by 11 or a 4-inch sheet of self-lam labels, it's predetermined as far as the width. But the cool thing about this is that if you have an install, a big, large install that is nothing but traditional self-lam labels, you want to keep status quo, right? And so you really don't want to use one of Brothers' traditional labels on there. But now you have the opportunity with a cassette to use a self-lam. So there's your answer.
Thank you. This person put in there says, I'm not a big fan of flags, but sometimes the OD is too small for a cable wrap. Any alternatives on a very small fiber optic cable or something?
Well, you know what? I'm glad that people are paying attention out there, and basically listening to me when I say I'm not a fan of flags either. I'm just not. They're horrific to put on. They're very laborious, time consuming, and very frustrating, because again, if you don't get both sides of that flag to line up, most of the time it's off a little bit and you're exposing this adhesive over here. And if you get a lot of those flags together, it just looks like hell. So there is an alternative. And this is something we started a couple of years ago, but our heat shrink is an alternative. So the heat shrink comes on a 5-foot cassette, and it prints off on a flat tube. And really all you have to do is open that tube up, slide it over that small OD, and you're good to go. Don't heat it up, because if you ever go to re-terminate that, all you have to do is slide that heat shrink back, re-terminate it, and slide it back in position. So number one, it's not as labor intensive to put the flag on. Number two, it looks a hell of a lot better than a bunch of flags and so anyway, try the heat shrink. The other thing you can do is we do have a new flag available, and that new flag you can install both vertically and horizontally. So if you need more information on the new flag, just reach out, and I'll tell you how that thing works. So
I do have a question. I'm sitting here. Why is your name Toddler on this episode here?
That's Kate's fault.
Okay. Well, the second question is, I don't know who this one's come from. I mean, there's a name next to it. It's from Hot Toddy. Is it true that you think you're the best looking guy on the Brother Mobile Solutions Industrial Solutions team?
Well, I don't know who this Hot Toddy is. Sounds like a very, very smart, intellectual individual. But to answer this person's question, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. It's the only reason why I'm brought to the trade shows. As eye candy, the booth babe, and I've learned to accept it. And it's a burden at times. At first it was kind of demeaning, Jamie. But I got to tell you, I've learned to kind of embrace that. My handsomeness, helps carry the team.
Your beauty sells. Your beauty sells. So that takes me into this question. Let's assume you're working a 5-day trade show. Would you A, want to work that 5-day trade show with Bruce, or B?
B.
Okay, I was just making sure.
B, Jimmy. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Next question.
Hopefully Bruce wasn't on for that question. I don't even know who put that one in there, but
I think Bruce is off today. Actually, he's taking more PTO. He takes more PTO than anyone I've ever known. But anyway, he'll catch a replay.
The average full-time worker is 2,080 hours, and Bruce is on that. He does the half of that. He does the 80. He does the right side of it. So after 3 months after we finished the job, we noticed the cable wraps we put on were coming off. What causes this, and is there a solution? Did we do?
I get calls like this all the time, and I feel sorry for them. But they should have listened to me in the beginning, and they should watch my shows religiously, and it'll never happen again. We have a couple of different types of tape, as you know, Jamie. And if you don't, then just sit back and soak all this in. A couple of different types of tape. Our regular TZE tape is meant for a smooth, flat surface. Our TZE FX flexible tape is meant for a curved surface, or if you're doing flags. Now, if you take that regular TZE, so our most popular cable wrap tape is the TZE FX 251. It's a 24 millimeter tape that's meant for cable wraps and flags. Okay. A lot of people will go out and buy our TZE 251, which is 24 millimeter, meant for a smooth, flat surface, and it wants to stay flat. So if you take that and you wrap it around something, a cable, if you will, it wants to spring flat. And so it's unfortunate that I get these calls and people have to go back and relabel, but you have to use the right tape. And so down the road, this may not help right now, but down the road, use our TZE FX series. And the FX series comes in half inch, 3/4, 1 inch, and 1.5 inch. So there you go.
And okay, perfect. That kind of rolls right into this question. Rough surfaces, labeling. I was labeling a powder coated surface on a cabinet. The label I was using, it stuck, but it wasn't adhered very well to the surface. Is there some other style tape on that one we should be using on a powder coated or a rough surface?
Yeah. If you are using that inside of any type of data center, the label is going to come off quicker based upon the heat and the ambient temperatures and so forth and whatnot. But we also have another type of tape that's our TZES, and the S stands for extra strength. Now, whoever the hell figured equals extra strength, I still don't know. And I'm celebrating 10 years with brother. Anyway, that's what it means. The S stands for extra strength. And the way it works is if you are using a powder coated surface, an uneven porous surface, or again, if you're labeling a cinder block wall, right? The S tape, our extra strength tape, actually has a softer adhesive that gets inside those micro nooks and crannies. So I highly recommend to use our extra strength tape on any type of powder coated surface. Now, will the other tape stick to it, adhere to it? Yeah, it will. But you have a higher probability of that thing coming off later. So use the extra strength on powder coated.
I just got a text from Bruce. He called me an inappropriate word and said he's calling HR. So with that, let's check out your trivia question on Bruce at this point. What town, multiple choice, what town and state does Bruce Page live in? It seems like you never get it right at the end. So is it A, Montauk, New Jersey, B, Marblehead, Mass, or C, Lancaster, Pennsylvania?
You know what? It's none of those, Jamie. I don't recognize any of those on there. So I know he's in Mississippi
do you
somewhere.
recognize Bruce as a coworker and a colleague?
Next question.
That's my question. It's Marblehead, Mass, by the way. I double checked it.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
I hear that the brother heat shrink right now is a 2-to-1 shrink, and the new one is going to a 3-to-1 shrink. When will the new heat shrink be out and available to purchase?
Hell, I don't know. Next question. So
the answer.
Yes, I've heard rumblings on this 3-to-1, and all I can say is that we're trying to get this out to market as soon as possible. I think that it's passed all of our stringent testing processes, and look for that to come out fairly soon. As you know, the way things are moving now, the supply chain issues and blah, 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 blah. I believe it was supposed to be out already, but it's kind of a TBD right now. But I am really looking forward to the 3-to-1. Although the 2-to-1, it's not the standard, but I've shrunk the hell out of our 2-to-1, and it still looks pretty good. But again, 3-to-1 is much better to use. So stay tuned.
Chip shortage, computer chip shortages, and stuff like that. Is that going to affect any of the brother printers that the Mobile Solutions team provides?
Yeah, it's going to affect everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it could be printers, could be TVs and everything else, So I think
I wasn't talking about TVs. I was just asking about your printers.
Listen, Jamie, this is my show. Just all right.
I was just asking about your printers. Stay on focus.
Kate.
Don't you mute me, Kate.
At some point, yes, it is. We don't have a lot of details on that, and So my suggestion is go buy a ton of Brother printers right now. I would highly suggest that.
Well, with that, let me ask this question: what printers of the handheld does Brother have that do not use a chip?
I don't know. We got 2 or 3 of them. How's that? So obviously the
You're amazing.
PTE 110, the PTE 300, and I believe the PTE 500 does not include a chip. I may be wrong on that, but
Yeah, you're
those
right.
3. Okay, all right. So those 3 don't have a chip, and but stay tuned on that. I'm sure everyone out there is going to be hit with chip shortage on everything. So.
Okay, this just in. This has to be from a young viewer. Will BS with Todd ever appear on TikTok?
No, they they're not offering me enough money, Jamie. They sent over the I'm sorry. I can't work for peanuts.
There appears to be a bit of wasted tape when I start to print a label out. Any way of adjusting that?
I knew it. I knew this would come up. I get it. Yeah, Kate, I know that, but Kate's talking to me. By the way, folks, Kate in the background, I got this little box that I can see, and Jamie can see it too. And Kate, behind the scenes, she yells at me from time to time. So
when she uses
anyway,
all caps, man.
Yeah, I know. All right. So, what the hell was the question?
The wasted tape that starts when you print out. Is there any?
Yeah. So I get a lot of that, and so here's the official explanation is that not only Brother but all of our competitors have wasted tape, and what that is that that's the leader that stays stuck in the engine between the capstan and the pinch roller that actually the engine pulls it up through, and so there's always going to be a little bit of a waste if you're printing one label at a time, and this is crucial. All right, if you print off one label at a time, you're always going to get that waste in the front. And no, it can't be adjusted. All right. If you print in sequence, or if you use our database feed, and you're going to print off a lot of labels on a strip, if you will, then the only waste you're going to get is at the very beginning. Everything else, there's no waste in between. The other thing that I have to say to that is that we offer a lot more tape than our competition, right? At a much fairer price, and so even if there is still a little bit of waste, you're still going to come out ahead. Trust me on that. I did this whole analytics thing last week, writhing in pain, and just taking one for the team. And I did this whole price structure analytics on waste versus blah, blah, blah versus our competition. Anyway, we still came out ahead. So that's a very long-winded answer to unless you print serialized or on a strip or pull from a database, you're going to get that waste.
Well, let's go to this one. This is a very good question because we're really gonna test your technical expertise on this one. With all the hoopla surrounding thermal transfer and direct thermal different style printing, what is the primary difference? And then somebody asked the question, what should I actually go with? Which also depends on what you're doing. But what's the difference between direct thermal and thermal transfer printing?
The first 2 words in front of thermal.
Yeah.
Well, the thermal transfer direct. Okay, so here's a great example. All right, look at the bottom of my coffee cup. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see where this label's coming off? Okay. All right, that right there is direct thermal. And so direct thermal typically prints on paper. It's typically used for shipping, receiving, warehousing, stuff like that. Crating. All right. So that's your direct thermal. All right. Your thermal transfer uses some type of ribbon. And all of the Brother Edge series of printers are thermal transfer. And yet we have some other machines, such as the new safety signage machine and our TDs. And the biggest difference is that The thermal transfer is going to use some type of wax or ribbon or to print on there, and the heat transfers that on there. A direct thermal is basically the paper itself. There's chemicals inside the paper, and the heat reacts to the chemicals, and that's how you get your print. But the biggest thing is this right here, right? It's going to fade, it's going to scratch, it's going to come off. So that's the big difference.
So you're telling me if I need that label to last for years, I need to go with a thermal transfer.
Well, Jamie, I think I just spelled it out for you. I mean,
You didn't say that, but that's okay. I just wanted to add that to there.
yeah,
So
no, the answer is yes. Yes.
You touched on safety signage labels. So somebody asked a question. We know it's used in electrical and operations and facilities for the safety signage, but does the datacom /AV /security world, those verticals, is there any applications for those guys to be using a safety signage printer?
I don't know, maybe. Next question. Well, of course there is. Absolutely. So there's lots of things that come into play. It could be fiber optics. It could be a tray system, a racking system. It could be the grounding and bonding that there's many applications from the security side, from the low voltage side, datacom side, if you will, for the safety signage. Besides just the electrical folks. So really the safety signage pertains to any platform out there. I think it's going to be more heavily used on the electrical side. But again, these contractors who are building these closets out and data centers, and it could be above tray system, it could be raised floor system, need labels and even piping and conduit labels there too. So yes, the answer is yes.
I saw your team wearing some shirts at Bixie that say BS with Todd on them. Where do I get one of those shirts? And whoever asked this question, why the hell would you want to have Todd's face on your shirt? The last part was me. I added that. I ad-libbed a little bit, Todd. Sorry. But where can we get those?
So the shirts are pretty cool. And whenever we wear them as a team, we do get noticed. And I think the reason, again, it goes back to, Jamie, that earlier question about being the most handsome one on the team. And really those shirts resonated. I mean, it's proof because otherwise they would have put your picture on there somewhere. But no, they chose me. And if you'd like a shirt, I think we have 2 or 3 variations. If you need a shirt, reach out to me and we'll see a shirt. I like that question though. Yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm. I picked up some of your new style of flag labels and the self-lam solution, but they don't seem to work on our PTE 550W or our PTE 800W. Can you help out with that?
Yeah, just go buy another 550W or 800 and try it on that one. So the new tapes, and this is very important because every now and then I'm pinged about this as well. So specifically, the new flag labels, all right, will work on both units. The self-laminating tape will only work on the PTE series or the PTP 900 series, and that's because they have a die-cut sensor in them. All right. So, but either way, if you have the 550W or the 800, there are firmware upgrades, and all you have to do is go to brothermobilesolutions.com support, and you can download the new firmware updates because you are going to need those for the flag labels on both. The self-laminating tape on the 800 and then the flag on the 550. So that's very important with the unit you currently have. Go update the firmware. And I'm telling you, once you do, you're really going to love those new flags. They're about 50% less labor to put on. They look a lot cleaner. So if you absolutely have to use flags, then take a look at our new FLE series. And if you want to stay status quo, or if you're responding to a RFP or RFQ that absolutely mandates self-laminating labels, we have that solution as well.
All right, it's 128, 129. So I'm going to ask you two more questions. The first one, your competitor's software is outrageously expensive. How does the cost of Brother software compare, and how many different softwares does Brother have?
It's my second favorite F word, Jamie. Free. Free.
Oh, I thought it was fancy.
Free.
Fancy?
Free. So I know that, especially with our new safety signage solution, we get asked quite a bit about the cost of our software. There is no cost of the P-Touch editor software, which you're going to use to operate any of our P-Touch series of printers. And then the label tech software, the LT software for the safety signage solution is also free. And with our competitors, you're in excess of $500 just for the kind of starter kit for that. So, yeah, free is a good thing, man.
So, I guess we'll go to the final question here. From the contacts that you show at the end of every episode, who do you enjoy working with the most, and who do you enjoy working with the least in that group?
Well, Jamie, I told you at the beginning of the show, I just had to take a class through HR, which taught me to being nice and speaking highly of all of my mates. So, you know what? I'm going to say that I love each and every one of you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. I can't answer you guys. You guys are the best out there. I know you in for me to say you.
No. You just, what political office are you running for right now? Because that was a very politically correct answer. I love everybody.
And no politics or religion on this show, buddy. Sorry.
Hey, this one just popped up really quick. It says that you will also give marital and financial advice. Is that true?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah. Man, I'm telling you. So right off the top, I would say don't get married and you'll never have financial problems again. How's that for an answer?
From legal and a disclaimer from Brother, please do not take any marital or financial advice from Todd Morris in any future, and you cannot hold us responsible for any marital or financial advice you get from Todd Morris. Thank you very much.
Anyway, hey, it was just my opinion. That's all. It's just my opinion. So, Jamie, I want to thank you very, very much for coming on board today and slinging some BS my direction, and me slinging even more BS on top of you. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know it's summer hours for here on the West Coast, right? I don't know about in Virginia Beach, but it's summer hours. We got the memo from Dave Christ, our president, a couple of weeks back, and I think it's a Thursday afternoon, right? We're basically off for the rest of the weekend, right? But didn't you read the same memo?
Yeah, well, you don't come back till Tuesday at 10 a.m. either for,
Okay. All right. Well, you missed that part, but thank you.
That's for us. The marketing team and everybody else has to work, so keep that low key, Todd. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, Jamie, thanks again. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. I'm sure we're going to get some feedback, either good or bad, from this. So, Kate, we have here how to choose the right tape. We talked a little bit about the tape when I was answering Amy's questions, and I'm going to go more into depth about this because it is imperative you use the right tape. If you don't, you can certainly call me. I'm going to chastise the crap out of you, but tune in for that one. It's going to be very helpful. On August 4th, P-Touch Editor Refresh. I haven't even seen it, so it should be interesting, me not knowing what the hell it is, but I'll talk about it. I don't care. Printer Matchmaker. Ooh. I don't know what Kate has up her sleeve in that one, but we'll find out. So the other thing that Kate, I want to do is part of this data center world deal symposium I did yesterday was putting together the actual cost of labeling. Nobody really thinks about it out there. They put in as miscellaneous or ancillary, or hope they get the numbers right, and they hope they make a little bit of money, and they hope they don't lose money. Well, I've got it all broken down for you. And I think that should be a very, very interesting show for all of our end users and contractors to really see the cost involved in labeling and how to avoid spending more than you have to, and then even potentially making some money off of it. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help anybody out there, and we'll have to put that one on the dockets too. But anyway, tune in the next 3 episodes. I think on the 29th, no, August 4th. I'm trying to think where the hell I'm going to be. I know one of those dates I'm going to be with Jamie in, is it not Denver? Maybe Houston? I don't know. Anyway, I know one of those shows I'll be doing a road show for y'all. But anyway, tune in. Thank you very much. Kate, what do we got next? The barcode? There's a barcode right here. Kate said the other day we're up to like 1,254 or 1,154 users or something. I mean, it's oh no, 154. I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, if you get the opportunity, snap a picture of that barcode on the screen. Love to see you on my YouTube channel. I know that we're getting a lot of folks to sign up every week, and there's some really good content on there. Not only about the BS and the having fun and chuckling and stuff like that, but very, very serious subjects. And so there's a lot of good stuff in the library there. So if you get a chance, scan that, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the contacts, I think, so as always, I end this with contacts. Here I am out in northern San Diego County, Jamie Brookover, which I was glad to say Kate shut him off. That was good, Kate. I don't know if you got this earlier, but anyway, Jamie out of Virginia Beach, Mr. Dan Cobb out of Wisconsin, Mr. Bruce Page is in Marblemouth, Massachusetts. Did I say that right, Bruce? Ruth? Oh man, it's going to be a good day. Anyway, Mr. Bruce Page, gotta love Bruce, man. Bruce, right here, man. Rob Dawkins out of North Carolina, and then Mr. Craig Robinson, who's hopefully frying in the sunshine in Bradenton, Sarasota area in Florida. So we've come to the end of the show. We're 5 minutes over. I appreciate everybody being on board today. Thank you very much. You can catch a replay on either bswithtodd.com or on my YouTube channel. Just type in BS with Todd, and that thing pops right up. So apparently we're getting a little more popular. But again, thank you very much. Have a very blessed week. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Can't wait. Thanks.